Welcome to this series where we are learning to play Victoria 3 by playing Sweden. Now the title of this video is called Cause and Effect, and I really want to talk a little bit about this because I think this is where, well, it certainly caught me out, and I think it's trying to understand the underlying relationships, which is probably one of the most difficult things to learn in this game. And I want to start by, if I come into here, you'll see it says expensive government goods here. Now, I've been looking at this and not really paying that much attention to it and then trying to fix the problem. But I think what I really need to do is go a little bit further down with respect to this. And probably the best way to explain this is not get rid of that. Is if I come down to here. Now, when I've been looking at this balance, I've been focusing very much on the green and what you'd call fixed national expenses. And when I've seen it says expensive government goods, I've been kind of relating it to this entry here. But if you put your feet over here, you see this is only really paper and clippers, because the fixed government expenses at the moment are mainly related to bureaucracy and trade routes. But the kind of hidden cost is down here. If I come down to here, it says this is where the expensive government goods come into. And you can, and I think this is something that I never really understood until now, that when you look at this, it says this is 85% you're building things, and there's a kind of impression that all you've got to do is look at this and pay for the costs which are here. But what these costs have is a direct relationship, sorry about this, to these, which is the amount that you're spending on the various items, which is steel, glass, iron. And that actually then spins back to, if we come to buildings here and go to the construction department, is if we come into here, you'll see that we're actually using steel frame buildings, which means that we're actually demanding glass, steel and explosives, which is being driven by the market here. If we sort this out, you can see explosives at the top, glass is here, steel is here. So what that means is that it's a circle, that we want these industries to be productive, but at the same time, that is actually increasing my costs as being part of the government. But also by constructing things, you're actually creating the demand, if that makes sense. So it is a circle. So you, in some ways, you want to construct things to create the demand, but then you've got to pay for it, which then brings in your costs here. I mean, we can see we are making a little bit of profit if we weren't building, but if we stop building, what will happen is, say, steel, glass and explosives and even the wood will drop off. They're here, which will then result in these prices, demand dropping. Because if I come in here, actually it's probably not here, you'll see that a big proportion of the demand for explosives, which is driving the price up, is the actual construction sector that we've got. And probably the best way to kind of explain that, if I can, is if we come in here, you'll see that, well, this is iron framed, which means it's not using steel. So if we come to this one's probably not. This one's iron frame buildings as well. See, so this is using fabric, wood and iron, but not steel. So if I say, for example, so it's obviously Svealand, which has got 5 construction offices in here, which is using steel frame buildings. So but if I go to Scotland, where we've only got 1 construction sector. So what you could do is, how many construction sectors in? We've got 2 in here. So what I'm going to do is, this is an experiment, is we're going to drop that there, but what we're going to do up here, which has got 5 construction, is we're going to drop you down to iron frame. And what that should do, if we let this run, one, it should reduce our costs here. But so you can see straight away, these have dropped now, but we are still using it. But because we're And this is, I have to admit, this is what is really horrifying. So we can still see that we're actually still using explosives, but if we come to the market, what you'll find is now, because we're not using it directly in our construction thing, the price has dropped here. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the next thing I've actually discovered is wood. Wood seems to be the resource of perpetual demand, because virtually everything you go through, if you look at all the buildings, it's probably not, I mean, well, probably the way to go through it is well, the food industries don't need wood, so that's good. Now, if we go, I don't think textiles industries need, but they need tools. So if we close that off and close this off, furniture is, we're losing money probably because the price is deflated here. But you can see furniture is a major consumer of wood because we've got wood, we've got tools, and we've got hardwood. And then if we come to the tooling industry here, tooling industry produces wood. And this seems to be the thread through the whole game. And this is the reason why, if you look up here, I've actually queued up more wood production, because wood is something that underpins everything that we do in the economy. I mean, I have to admit, I was thinking maybe it's because I play Workers and Resources. My focus was very much on steel, but wood seems to be everything. And again, if we look at the demand here, we got, I mean, we've got trade routes. I don't know if that's I mean, these are buy orders. So it's almost like we're exporting wood. Maybe if I, what was that? Did I cancel that? Other trade routes with France, French market. Okay, we don't want to go to the French market. We want to look at our own market. So we're actually making money from tariffs on this market here. So what we really need to do is actually just push up that market. I'm just going to let the game run slowly. So that's the first thing that we need to do, is fix that. We've got an unproductive trade route with the Prussian market now. The reason for that is that the glass price has dropped because I've stopped using it. So we could cancel this with we could cancel this trade route. What is he actually bringing in? Units of glass traded. So we could drop that down. And what that should do is then raise the price of glass. Should start to rise a little bit here. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. So the top tips I can kind of recommend at the moment is be aware of these circular relationships in the game. Also, wood, and more wood is probably the best way to do it. We're going to need to try and, we're actually starting to make a bit of profit for what we got here. Take on debt proposal. When one country takes over another country's loan. I don't really want to do that. So now we've finished the expensive building that we were building, which I've forgotten what it was. What was I building here? I think it was a log camp, isn't it? I think, yeah, because we yeah, I think what's happened is, because we're building 3 buildings at once, what's happened is the logging camp that I think we were building here is now finished. And what that should do is, we'll see if that will, so it's actually started to drop the cost of wood now, but it still says wood is expensive on the Swedish market. Okay, pause. Let me just look. Yeah, but it's expensive, but it's not highly expensive. So we've now got it down to, and I think this is the balance that you've got to strike. But you want to be able to make cut down your costs for construction here, which is down there, which means we're now making a small but steady profit. But at the same time, you don't want to drive the price down on here too far, because this is what's driving the wages of your people here. Hopefully that makes sense. And we're working on a lead mine and all that. So next thing I want to talk about is so many things to talk about. And this unused construction production is the fact that we have the capacity to have 3 projects running at any one time because of our capacity here. Now, the next thing I want to do is talk a little about these convoys. I've been looking at this and thinking, yes, it's more of a warning than the convoy isn't running. But at the same time, if say these were exporting or even technically importing, these can have an effect on your market. So for example, if we come back to the market again, if you look here, at the moment there's no real problem, because if I come back to here and we compare this is coal, which is down here. You can see the coal price is well, it's not that fantastic. And at the moment, we've got more demand because we're importing the coal, which means that, and you can see here that it's roughly a 50-50 split between trade route and coal mines. And what that's doing, but we're still a little bit short, which is keeping the price up there. But what would happen is if we built more convoys, that would increase the import from the thing. So if we come to trade routes and find coal, this is what really starts to fry your brains in this game. You see, we've already got a level 8 import of coal from Prussia, which is making us some money, but you can see it's actually pushing down the price on here. And what you see is that this trade route is predicted to remain at level 8 under there, but it's not, and it's saying it needs 247 convoys to go up to the next level. And what that means is we could import more coal from Prussia. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a relationship between it, but I think the key factor is, and I know I keep coming back to this, is that at the moment our economy is in balance. So in some ways, by building more clippers or more convoy capacity, you can actually destabilize your market. We got a man of war, which are expensive, but I think the trouble is that if we've got I can't remember, where's my military production? Is it development? It's a naval base, isn't it, here? So the naval base here is Scania and Svealand, and at the moment, no, is it the naval base? No, it's not the naval base, is it? How do we produce ships? It's shipyards, isn't it? Sorry. So at the moment we've got a single shipyard in Scania. Now we could go to reinforced hulls, but that would, that would give us more clippers. But of course it's then going to drive up engines and what else does it need? So it's fabric there and hardwood. But so that will actually produce more clippers. And I think if we come to here, at the moment we're on military shipbuilding, so we're I just wonder, but the price already for these is high. But these guys have got lower productivity. I must admit, I'm not that interested, truthfully, in building up my navy. Because I think if we come to military, is it military wages, subsidies? What's the subsidies for? Railways. So at the moment we're subsidising a railway for 970. Okay, where are we subsidising a railway? Okay, here. I think we can save a bit of money by doing that. Okay, we've got pan-nationalism unlocked. Okay, next thing I need to talk about. And this is something I noticed is we're not actually taxing people at the moment. So we're actually losing money because we don't have the tax capacity. And I think to get the tax capacity, what we got to do is here. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to come there. I think we got the same problem. We got the same problem because what's happening is that my government capacity or taxation capacity hasn't kept up with. You can see I got 366. All this money we're losing. So, and I think that also applies to here as well. Yeah, we got. Look at that, 206. So if we come in here. So what I'm going to do is just build some taxation capacity in as well. We're just going to let the game run. Now I'm returning, also looking at radicals. So in fact, logging camp in Norlands is finished. So we got here. We're producing hardwood. So how's the price of woods now? Wood's still expensive. Now, I am kind of thinking about maybe, and again, this is hypothetical because I'm not really too sure. We got another 76 days, and then we're going to expand here. We've got our colony down here. Now, I'm wondering if we could possibly create logging down here. That would actually improve our production, but the problem is if I build logging here, we don't get any taxation. Not enough qualifications for staffing. I'm wondering, can we create a coffee market? I'm kind of thinking maybe we're doing that and get that going. Now, another problem is these growing radicals, and I am wondering whether we could increase this. But I think if we can get the taxation up, we can increase government wages. We've also got high here, which is we got more radicals. But I think if we reduce this, minus 14, if we reduce that, that will give us a lot more loss is there, but it still means we're going to balance. I think we can afford to do that because I do need to reduce these radicals, and having those high wages here, high taxation, what this will do is, you can see now it's got rid of the effects of plus 25% radicals from standard living decreases. And I do need to control these radicals now. And I think, I don't think wages, let me just pause and read this. I don't think wages actually increases radicals. Oh, we didn't get the dedicated police force. Shame. I was hoping to get that because that would also help with the radicals as well. What we're getting from radicals. Let's have a look. And what you can do is just let this run, and what you'll see is you can see the rate of change at the moment. At the moment we're kind of from being fired from buildings and discrimination. So it looks like, yeah, the radicals are dropping because I've dropped the taxes, but we are now losing money. So we do need to get this administration up and running. I must admit, every time I play this game, I've played a little bit off camera on other games just to do other countries just to experiment, and this game just gives you a headache. Okay, what we got here? For public enthusiasm for reforms. Okay. Armed forces gets grassroots. Scotland become. I think we're going to go with that grassroots support for the law. So I think that would be great if we could get that 52%. So what we need to do is get that to come round so that we can actually do this. Okay, so we've got high tensions. in teak. Fang and tech. Okay, what's going on now? Just clear that. I guess. Oh, what's happened is we've expanded outwards now. So we've now got this here. Quite interestingly, we've expanded and we've now lost access to the millet farms. Why did we lose access to... I don't think this makes sense. This is unused arable land. So we got no arable land to expand here now. So interesting. So we grew, but we didn't get more arable land. But I've been a bit cheeky, so we got a coffee plantation there. I don't know whether that's actually going to help us or hinder us. Human rights unlocked. We've got compulsory primary schools. That'd be nice. Workers' protections, old age pensions, feminism. So, right, let's just look at technology. So, what did we get? Can't remember. We also need to work on education. Mutual funds, publicly traded gold mines, labor movement, human rights. This is what we've just got. So we can now have opened up the option for schools. Feminism, I feel that we really need to be back here. 33 months. I think improved fertilizers, chemical plants, unlocked fertilizers. Oh, I think maybe we'll go with that for improved fertilizers. I think but intensive improved fertilizers. I think we'll go for that. What we got over here? We've got crystal glass. Again, we haven't really looked at. So, this is enact regulatory bodies. Okay. Right, we've reduced our radicals. So it's kind of, we've still got a lot of radicals here though. Okay, what have we got here? We got problem with steel mills. No, they're in. We need to kind of try and improve our. So let's look at this. We've got a low price of steel, which is, so they're actually losing money. And the glassworks is prices there. So say for argument's sake, I come down here and we look at our construction industry here. That's on steel frame buildings. How about up here? What are you on? Now you've only got one, so if we put you there, will that increase demand for steel? All explosives is a little bit behind the path. We've now got transport costs going up. Okay. So that gets our steel mill back into profit, but it means that we need more capacity here. We've already got that there. It's put our costs up here. The trouble is, if I just pause this, if I increase this again, I think we're just going to... Oh, we've got fieldworks unlocked. I think we're just going to live with that higher price for the moment. The iron, steel, glass and things. So, yeah, we've got wood, explosives and glass. Wood, and more wood. And of course, the trouble with... See, the wood hasn't got that high. But transport costs... We just look at this. So we need more size 2. Okay. Let's see. We need to improve our universities as well. Right, we got. This is losing money. And why are you losing money? Because we can't employ enough people. Okay, so there's not much point. So this down here is rebalancing. What's the one there? Just wonder whether we need to expand. So our arable land use, this is dropping. We've got 2 here. So I'm just wondering how much money are we making here? Not. I think we're just going to let that run for the moment. How are we going here? Let's just have a look at our tax revenues now. So that's still 66 out of thing. That's 84 out of 244. 149. It's almost like we need another round of these tax revenues. Got here. Okay, what just finished? But what we're going to do is build these through and see what we've actually just done. Let's have a look here. So we've still got wood. We've still got tensions in that area there. Expensive military goods. Trade routes need convoys, but the wood isn't. It's getting a little bit high. Have a look at our back to rural. I think it's Norlands. And these guys are making money, but the transport costs are high. If we can get the transport costs down in, so I think we are. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me just look at the market. Transport costs. Yeah, we've got iron mugs, lead mines, and at the moment, I think we can just produce these anyway. Is there anything else to do with the transport costs? So say, for example, iron mines are low here. So many things to think about. What that actually means is if we increase this, we get more transport goods, but we also get a benefit of 20 infrastructure. So if there's anywhere where we're low on infrastructure, yeah, I mean Scania down here is a bit low on infrastructure. So say for example, but we can't we're not really recruiting anyone here because the weekly balance is low. Okay, so it's not much point putting it in there. And we've got munitions plant here. How's the infrastructure here? Infrastructure's low in Gotland. So if we, say for argument's sake, we expand that, that will give us a bit more infrastructure. I'm worried about my debt running back down. So we're just spending a lot of money on. So will that raise our taxes? Right, we just finished. Let's have a look now. Still says 66 out, 86 out of 244. I thought administration was meant to, or does it just take a little while for it to kick in? Or have I so far behind that tax components 45? Wow. Okay. I think we're gonna have to in here agriculture resources. Will it? Maybe we can't do administration through it, can we? Let me just pause. We've got an arts academy here. Okay. Government administration. Well, we got no peasants in there. We got peasants. I think we're gonna add that and that. I'm just gonna keep pumping out this administration. Scotland, Swedish Gaboon, Norland has got no peasants anymore. Does that mean we've got full employment in Scotland up here? Let's have a look here. Have I got any capacity for some decrees? This has got road maintenance in Scania. I think we're going to try and get a bit more of a greener grass policy going here. Yeah, we can't take off the road structure. And I think what we can do, if we can get more people coming into here. So where is everybody go? Wow. Rubber rush. Rubber has been successfully grown in Swedish. The fragile nature of these trees and their difficulty to meet conditions as achievement exceptionally important. It's rubber rush for 2 years. Migration attraction. What's the difference between the two? Okay, let's go. We found rubber. I'm very tempted. Oh, we got to get rubber mastication. Okay, so we've now got rubber. We just got... What's rubber mastication when it's at home? Sorry. Oh, it's over here. 33 months. I think we'll finish this and then do that there. I think I'd like to get the improved fertilizer going. 41k. Yeah, I think these tax things are kind of draining my income at the moment, but I just feel that we just need to get this up. Because let's actually look at our... Can we get a breakdown of income taxes? Yeah, so poll taxes, that's flat. Consumption taxes, that's flat. Taxation. See, the income tax is rising. So again, if we just come back to here, we go. Yeah, so we're just gonna have to keep an eye on this debt. I think it's going to be advantageous to just try and get this to work so that we can, how can I explain it? I think if we can get the taxation up, we're gonna run into debt, but I think if we can get some higher and higher taxation sorted, I think things will go a little bit better. What are we doing here? So we still need workers here. I mean, if we has this actually fixed it? Yeah, so the population's rising here. So I think that will work. Closes wood in the Swedish market. Yes, thank you, game. But explosives is still high. We got closes high. Is that affecting radicals? Well, radicals are falling. That's brilliant because we reduced our taxes. So that should keep us, because one of the problems with radicals, I don't know if I can show it to you, if we can find some radicals here. What you'll find is this, that if you get radicals, you get a plus 15% tax waste, which means you start losing taxation, which means your economy kind of goes through the floor. One thing I haven't quite worked out yet is investment pools, but we'll get round to that. I would like to get this finished in this part. We got a 51% success rate on that. I certainly would like this to be passed. I'm reluctant to keep stacking more stuff into this. But we got one more week and we'll get more government administration. It's just, what I want to do is just see, the moment we're getting 45.8 in income taxes. Let me just write that down so I don't forget. Right, let's get back to. So we've now got our tax capacity up to standardized filing station. Now the question I want to make sure is that we need to keep an eye on paper, because every one of these we build actually increases the cost of paper. Paper at the moment is quite cheap, so we've got over capacity. We've got this to be built. We've got taxation of 86 out of 300. I'm gonna go. We're gonna go again. These are our richest provinces, so we're just going to keep pushing this axis. It's also increasing our bureaucracy as well. It's good, which is here. I don't think we can standardize filing system. We've got secular administration. That has increased our income by another 1,000. So we're now up to 46.5. 46.7. So I think we're going to need to push that a little bit higher. We've also got, in theory now, we should be. Where did we buy the railway? Where did I put the railway? This railway is building back up again, so this hopefully should reduce the cost of here. Wow. It should start to bring down the almost like we need to build some more. So many things to build. Oops, sorry, keep hitting that location finder. Oh yeah, there goes the balance. So we're now making money with the what we got here from France. Wishes to enter a defensive Mecklenburg. No, I'm not interested in that. Wood explosives for the Swedish market. Trade routes need convoys. Yes, we know that. We've got tensions. I'm just gonna let it run because I'd love to get this dedicated police force. I need to keep an eye out for an event. And we're just going to keep building the administration, I think. How's the taxes now? 46.7. So those two administrative buildings just increased our taxes by about 1,000. Can't game. You can do it. You can do it. Yes. Right. Pause. So we've now got our dedicated police force. More importantly, what this is going to do is it's going to give us 2 maximum law of institution investment. More importantly, it's going to reduce radicals by another 10%. It reduces state penalties due to turmoil. It also improves the petit budget, intelligence, armed forces, and it annoys the landowners. So what we need to do now is come in here. Intelligentsia's got clout. I'd kind of like to reform our government, but I'm not sure. So we got 50%. If we take the landowners out, we drop by 23%. So we've got to leave the landowners in for the moment. Armed forces. These guys still don't fit with what we've got. We need to get. So we're still kind of stuck with. Just exit. I'm not going to reform laws. Right. So what we got here? Right of assembly. Ooh, intelligentsia, trade unions, presidential republic. Do we go for it? Trouble is, our government at the moment is it. The problem's gonna be is if we do oligarchy. Ooh, maybe this might be the better option. Wealth voting. Trade unions will endorse that. That would get rid of the landowners. This will change to census suffrage. will give us endorsements from industrialists, impose that. Trade unions, intelligentsia, landed. I don't want to boost the landowners. Oligarchy at the moment gives us authority. So we're going to need to watch our authority, because if we go to here, we're going to lose the authority. That will actually change the government's legitimacy by -5. Maybe that's not such a good idea. This will radicalize the landowners. That's not a problem. This will radicalize landowners and the Church of Sweden. Well, that's not a problem either. Trade unions opposes this change. So that would take them from 7 to -3. So I just feel that from acting head of state of government, I thought, who is our monarch? We're still waiting for this guy. How old is this guy? 94? Is he ever going to die? Okay, laws. The alternative is that we go safe. Child labour, propertied women. Got no change there. This is their rights of assembly. We could go to protected speech. This would import in. It won't upset the industrialists. But what will it give us? It give us 25% technology. I think I need something a bit more powerful than that. Per capita taxation, land-based taxation. I've got a feeling we've got to go for something like this. From 9 to -11. I think universal suffrage might be a little bit too much of a jump to begin with. I think I feel we've got to get this. This will bring on the trade unions. This will bring on not landed voted, wealth voting. I like the idea of making the trade unions more powerful. They were from -5 to 5. Whoops, what happened there? Yeah, I think we're going to go for census suffrage to begin with. So if we go for that, I'm just going to let that run. Enact regulatory bodies. But we can't because we don't have any support for it at the moment. We need more money. Let me just see. We're just going to have a look around here. How's the radicals going? So we're losing the radicals. We just got this, but I'm okay at the moment. What we might have to do is just keep trying to put this out. Let's look at our construction costs again. Yeah, wood, steel, fabric, explosives. See if we can get our. Okay, we've now got sell orders, buy orders. We got a premium here. I'm just wondering if we go to budget. Right, what are we making from what? We're constantly losing money on this. So can we maybe remove the consumption tax on that? And where's coffee? And say we put that on there. Okay. Now we're not really making any money from it, are we? But then we can. I think that was a bad decision. Okay. Where's the luxury clothes again? not a significant producer of coffee. So let's just remove that tax and we'll put the luxury furniture back in again. Right, we're now technically losing money. We're losing 12k from here, but hopefully our income tax will rise. Now we've got this here. Okay, we're actually losing money now because I've built these still weekly balance, so that didn't really work. But we have dropped our radicals down for a little bit now. For unhealthy economy, yes, I know. We could punch the taxation up again. That's going to increase radicals. But we've now got a police force that will help us. And what we've got to do now is somehow sort out our economy. I'm hoping that if we start collecting more tax revenue, it's almost like it's a self-destructive cycle, isn't it? Looks we're getting more people here, infrastructure usage. So we're not, it's like a case of diminishing returns, isn't it? But we are making money. It's just our radicals are now flattening off a bit. Untrained hands, what's this? Children in the textile mills of Spielen keep. No, I think we're get that going. Right, our GDP is falling now. So we're not really getting the return on the coffee that I was hoping for. Fish is getting expensive. Clothes is getting expensive. We've got a demand for liquor, which comes from our. Actually, we got failing balance here. Up here, the price of steel is low. Maybe we can export steel. That's iron, sorry. Right, we can export to the Prussian market. Will that start to let's just see, will that improve? What that should do is improve the steel market. That will start to make money. That will improve our costs. So we're now up to, we're making money from there, and we're just going to. I'm just going to go through. Got shipyards here. We could improve our shipyards. We could go to reinforced wooden hulls. That would make us more clippers. I'm not sure, still not convinced about the military. Tooling workshops. Okay, let's just have a look at tools. Are we producing excess tools? Where's tools? Yeah, okay, let me just look at trade routes for tools. Because I've got a feeling we're actually importing tools from 385 tons of. What's the difference? Oops, sorry. It's too close for. Actually, maybe we got an opportunity here if we export tools. Does anyone actually want tools? Russian market wants 100 tools. So say we export the tools. So what we're doing is importing. Let me just think this through. So we're importing tools in, for our own market, which has then produced more sales. That will push the price down in our market, but that's not what I want to do though, isn't it? That makes the tool market even worse. Maybe if we push that up. So say in this workshop I'm in here, let me just speed this up. I just want to see if it's going to have an effect. Right, so we've now made this making a profit in that market. Okay, so we've now got buy orders is now is pushing over there. So what we could do now is there's the tool industry here. Right, we've got iron mines. There's transport costs again. So at the moment we've got a slight lead price on tools. Anyway, guys, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.